See if we can put the winglet on this wing. I just want to make the wing look cool. So how I'm going to go about that. All right, here's the plan. I'm going to build a sketch. Oh, not that one. Undo. I'm going to build a sketch on the end here. And I'm going to just make a construction line, which I've now learned how to do. Like that. Then I'm going to build a planar angle off that construction line. It's built me an angle there. It's built it level. I'm just going to go with the 5 degrees at the moment. And then I'm going to build a sketch on there. Okay, I want to use a sweep to get my cool winglet. So I'm going to put a couple of splines in. Let's just try and get this. I don't want it to oh man, making a bit of a pig's ear of this. Alright, do you know what, I'm just going to start again. Okay. There we go. And then I'm going to build another one. This one's going to have a bit more of a dramatic sort of sweep to it. That looks good. Finish that sketch. Then I'm going to come and mess with the sketch from in front. Oh. I'm going to just move. I don't want to move the whole thing, I just want to move this one. And then I just want to move this one. Just want to move. Oh my gosh. What do you do? Right. This one alone. That's it. Okay. And now we're going to use the sweep tool. Grab this profile. We're going to do the same thing that we did. Do path, guide rail. There we go. We get a cool swept winglet that I think looks pretty good. I suppose what we could do is just extend the line here. I press OK. Come down to the sketch. Could just extend this line here. So edit sketch. Oh, sorry, it's not edit sketch. I just want to move. Okay. And actually, if we move it further still, I like that. I think that looks good. Okay. Let's just hide the canvases for a second. There we go then. So we've got a winglet on the end of that wing. We could change that just by moving that sketch line if we want to make it you know, slightly different shape. And most of the time with all this stuff, really, it is trial and error, you know. If it's not exact, have a fiddle with it. Cool. Let's have a think about this wheel then. So, going to construct a plane. And it needs to be outside of the wing, because we're going to build the wheel outside the wing. And I reckon it's probably a tiny bit too far. Go like that. This is going to be my second attempt at designing the wheel spat, because I've done one already, but I didn't like it. It was a bit square. It totally would have worked, but yeah, it was a bit square. So I'm back to where I was. I've got my sort of wheel placeholder, and what I'm going to do here is, just with an offset for a couple of mil, I'm going to make what is going to be our cutout to cut out the area that the wheel sits in. So I want maybe -8, yep. And I want that to be a new body, not a join. There we go. So that's going to be able to cut out our wheel of whatever we build. And then I'm going to move both that and that. Go to translate. I'm just going to move it down 5 mil or something. There we go. So look, gives me a little bit more room to play with. Okay. And then I had a thought. Here's the way I'm going to go about this. I'm going to construct an offset plane, and I'm going to put it just above the wheel. I'm going to build a sketch on that offset plane, just there. And I am going to make a construction line down there. It's going to be for a mirror. And then we're going to build, like we did for the tail, a symmetrical airfoil. Needs to be a bit bigger because it needs to house the wheel. There we go. Only I don't want that one to be a construction, I want that one to be a normal line. There we go. Okay, and we'll mirror that line. Like that. Cool. Here is my thought then. Can we do a loft from there onto there? Can indeed, but at the moment the shape's a bit ugly. So let's change that to tangent and make the tangency weight 5. Might work. It's not liking it at the moment. So any kind of tangency weight, and it doesn't like that. Try curvature. I think it's probably because we've got this area here where it's going back on itself, but it's making it quite hard. So I'm going to cancel for now. And we're going to edit this sketch. Move it. Out over there. Also, while I'm here, I'm going to make it a little bit narrower. Okay. Try again. Okay, so basically any tangency weight is still not working. That's a bit better. So the problem here, I think, is we need to move it down now. So let's try that. I think what's going to be easier is if we move these for starters. So what I'm doing then is I'm going to build the wheel housing. I appreciate I'm not doing a great deal of particularly helpful commentary today, and that's just because I'm having to do a lot of thinking. It's kind of why I like the 3D CAD design. It's like doing a really tricky crossword. Okay, so we're going to build a offset plane and then a planar angle of a line so that I can get the desired sort of shape. Now I'm going to project the shape that we built. Don't want a projection link this time. And then I'm going to scale it. Try and get the whole line. Like that. And then let's build a loft. Like that. Okay, cool. So that's what I want our wheel to go in. And now that we've got that, we can worry about connecting it up to the wing. So I'm going to try and position it. Okay. I build an offset plane. Kind of split that. And then hide the top section. And then we're going to try and do a loft from a bit of a higher angle, as it were. Okay, that's just with them connected. See, that shape's okay, but we're not going to have enough room for the wheel. So this is where I want to go tangent. Yeah. New plan. New plan. Okay, so when you loft from a sketch or a surface, you get a different, I guess it does a different calculation. So you get some different options. So this one gives us an option of a direction. So it starts the loft and you can add some weighting to the direction that your part's going to go. So as you can see, the more weight I give the takeoff weight of the loft, the longer it carries on in the same direction to start with. Now, this profile I think has not used the sketch again, it's used the wing. Let's come up with a slightly different shape. And what I would normally do is I would use tangent or curvature, and what that tries to do is it tries to carry on the angles. So in other words, it starts at a tangent, so it's a bit like the direction, but it uses a tangency. And it will make it look more like one piece rather than multiple pieces. Okay, I see why it didn't use the sketch. And we're going to use constraints. Sometimes the program drives me nuts. Okay. Right, so this time we've used two sketches rather than I think we're starting to get the kind of shape that I'm looking for. So I'm going to bring the wing back in. Okay, this narrowing here is due to the height of the tangency of a profile 1. So my main concern now is how we're going to print this and make it strong enough. It's a fairly narrow throat there, but I do like the look of it. I think it looks pretty good. Alright, I'm happy with that. I'm going to make it new body so that we can still change the pieces if we need to. Now let's have a look. I think that looks pretty good. We can bring back our wheel and wheel outer. And see how they fit. Just before I do that, actually, I'm going to get rid of the wheel and just going to isolate this for a second. Just going to make this solid, and this is probably quicker ways to do it, but I just know that this will be pretty quick, so I'm going to do this. Patch the ends up, stitch them together, and then you just get a new solid. There you go. Only problem is I can't unisolate now, so I've got to bring everything back. There probably is a way to unisolate it, but someone could pop it in the comments. That'd be amazing. That's not the one. I think that's the one. Okay, back to the solid workspace, and I think to make that work I need to lose a little bit of space, or actually maybe just move 11, so it's not actually going to be in the middle. That's going to give it more space at the top there. Alright, okay. Back a few bits. See how it's looking for fit. Yeah, looks good. So in a little bit we can cut that out when we get to sorting out the finer details. Okay. I think we ought to have a little look at what it looks like. So I'm going to create a mirror. Just get all the objects on this side. Sorry, these bodies. We get some idea of what our Quickie's going to look like. Something you can do in Fusion is you can use the render workspace. So this is all about getting images. We can set the scene up. Let's pick a nicer colour to look back on. Cool. And let's also change the appearance. I'm probably going to print this in white plastic. I mean, again, there never seem to be enough. There never seem to be enough materials, but I'm sure there's a way of downloading more, and I'm sure there's a way of doing this all at once as well, rather than one by one, but it's only going to take me a second. canvas render. Well, it's going to give us some idea what it's going to look like, which is pretty cool.